You're listening to The Sports Moment.
May 29th, 2024.
Part of the Sports Moments and Memories with Craig Olson podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a sports moment. Sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
The Minnesota Timberwolves did what they had to do last night in Dallas. Karl-Anthony Towns showed up and carried the Wolves to victory over the Mavericks in an elimination game, with the Timberwolves down 3-0 in that best-of-7 Western Conference Finals series. Karl-Anthony Towns, 20 of his 25 in the second half. Anthony Edwards had 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists, and the Wolves stayed alive in their first trip to the conference finals in 20 years, and just the second trip in the franchise's 35 seasons. Towns, who was shooting 28% from the field in the series coming in, was 9 for 13 from the field, including 4 of 5 from deep. And that was after he picked up his fifth foul midway through the third quarter. Timberwolves win 105-100. They will now host Game 5 on Thursday night at Target Center. Luka Doncic had 28 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists for his sixth triple-double of the playoffs. But he and his co-star, Kyrie Irving, were just a combined 13 for 39 from the field, so did not shoot the ball well last night at all. Timberwolves get the win, stay alive, extend it to Game 5 on Thursday night. And the Twins are hot. They've won 6 of their last 7. Simeon Woods-Richardson earned his first win in 8 starts. Jose Miranda drove in a couple of runs, and the Twins beat the Royals 4-2 last night. Joan Duran allowed the first 2 batters he faced in the ninth to reach base, but helped by Christian Vasquez throwing out a runner trying to steal second. He didn't allow a run, and he earned his 8th save. And the Twins are now just 3 games back of Kansas City, who they are chasing in the American League Central. The Royals are 3.5 behind Cleveland. Kansas City has lost 3 in a row after getting into a situation where they had won 8 in a row. So they're struggling now after having a great run, just like the Twins did earlier with their 12-game winning streak. And then they went into a funk for a while. Well, they're back out of it, so good to see the success, and against a team in their division that they need to beat. Now, they're going to face the guy that's been the Royals' best pitcher when they play Game 3 of the series tonight. Seth Lugo is 8-1 with a 1.74 ERA. He leads the American League in wins and all of baseball in ERA, and he'll get the ball tonight at Target Field against Twins right-hander Bailey Ober, who is 5-2. with a 4.33 earned run average. So Twins will have their work cut out for them tonight. Pemberton Law Firm serves you from 4 different locations in Fergus Falls, Wadena, Detroit Lakes, and Alexandria, and online at pemlaw.com. Pemberton Law, carrying a legacy of trustworthy and reputable legal representation dating back to 1883. Lake Area Docks and Lifts offers premium waterfront equipment sales, service, and installation. Best quality and service at the best prices. Just ask your neighbor at the lake about Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
The high school baseball and softball tournaments are underway, and the Fergus Falls Otters lost their first-round game with Little Falls coming from behind, scoring 2 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th to beat the Otters in the Section 8-3A baseball playoffs by a score of 7-6. Now, the Otters will play an elimination game tomorrow. They will host Detroit Lakes at American Legion Field at De Lagoon Park in that game. In Section 8-2A baseball, the top-seeded Perham Yellow Jackets in the South have of the section received a first-round bye, and they will now play Pelican Rapids in their next game tomorrow, as Pelican Rapids won over Barnesville by a score of 4-0. Also in first-round action yesterday, Holly defeated Dilworth Glendon Felton. That's a number 7, beating a number 2 seed and knocking the Rebels out, because the first round of the playoffs is an elimination round. So good win for Bo Lofgren's Nuggets. Also, it was a 4-0 victory for Otter Tail Central over Monaga, as Lane Dilly and Eric Fick combined on the shutout for Ryan Hendrickson's Bulldogs. So tomorrow in Perham at 2:30, the Yellow Jackets play Pelican Rapids, and the Nuggets play Otter Tail Central. The two winners will clash at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and the two losers will play an elimination game at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Now, in the north half of 8-2A, East Grand Forks and Thief River Falls, the top 2 seeds, received first-round byes. Number 4, War Road, eliminated Park Rapids area 5-1, and the number 3 seed, Roseau, shut out number 6, Crookston, 1-0. So tomorrow, in Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, at 11 o'clock, it'll be East Grand against War Road, and at 1:30, Thief River Falls takes on Roseau, and then the two winners will play at 5:30, or at 6:30 rather, in East Grand Forks. The two losers will play at 4 o'clock tomorrow in East Grand Forks. Now, in the Section 6A tournament, Parker's Prairie, number 1 seed in the North, won their opening round game 28-0 over Rothsay. Also, it was Brandon Evansville beating Ashby in a 5-4 game, 9-2. The Chargers get the victory in that one. It was Long Prairie Gray Eagles 17 and Hillcrest 2, and Breckenridge shut out Browerville Eagle Valley by a score of 1-0. In the south half of Section 6A, Belgrade Bruton Rosa, the number 1 seed, gets a first-round bye, and Hancock defeated Benson 7-4, scoring 6 times in the 7th to get the win. Upsala Swanville area shut out Ortonville 2-0, and Border West blanked West Central area 4-0. So tomorrow in 6A, it's Belgrade Bruton El Rosa taking on Hancock at 2:30 in Morris, followed by Upsala Swanville area and Border West. Well, they also play at 2:30 in Morris, and then the two winners will play at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and the two losers will also play at 5 o'clock tomorrow in Morris. In Clarissa, the top seed, Parker's Prairie, will play Brandon Evansville at 2:30, while Long Prairie Gray Eagle is facing Breckenridge. The two winners will play at 5, and the two losers will play an elimination game at 5 o'clock. And on the softball front, the Fergus Falls softball season ended yesterday as the Otters were beaten 14-4 by Alexandria, and their season coming to an end with that loss in Alexandria. In other softball competition in Section 6A, the scores yesterday, Clinton Graceville Beardsley beating New York Mills 5-2. Browerville Eagle Valley defeated West Central area 13-2. Upsala Swanville area was a 10-3 winner over Wheaton Herman Norcross. So here's what's remaining there. In the elimination bracket, it will be New York Mills taking on Upsala at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and the winner of that one will move into the championship battle with Clinton Graceville Beardsley at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And in Section 8-2A, girls softball, the remaining schedule of games, there are elimination games scheduled for today, actually. In Thief River Falls, Wadena Deer Creek and Holly will play at 2 o'clock, and Barnesville will face Thief River. The two winners will play an elimination game at 3:30 this afternoon. And Dilworth, Glendon, Felton, and Monaga, the two teams without a loss in this double elimination tournament, will also play at 5:30 today for the right to move into the championship round of that tournament. So lots of postseason baseball and softball going on right now. And today there's section track and field competition. The Otters are at Pequot Lakes for day one of the track and field section meet. Day two will be Saturday at Rocori High School in Cold Spring. So the Otters will be competing today and again Saturday for the right to go on to state in their individual events. National Hockey League playoffs. The Panthers beat the Rangers 3-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now that series is even at 2 games apiece. Western Conference Finals continued tonight in Edmonton, with the Oilers hosting the Dallas Stars and Dallas leading that series 2-1. And some big money being thrown out to wide receivers in the NFL. The Houston Texans and wide receiver Nico Collins have agreed to a 3-year, $72.75 million extension that includes $52 million guaranteed. Collins, who is 25, is coming off a career-best season in which he had 80 receptions for 1,297 yards and 8 touchdowns. And you know that Justin Jefferson is going to get a contract bigger than that if they can come to terms, he and the Vikings, and hopefully they will. Not a lot of movement on that in recent weeks, and hopefully they're about to finalize that deal. Lots of other big-name wide receivers have been getting the big dollars and putting their name on the dotted line. So hopefully Justin Jefferson is the next one that we hear about. And that'll do it for our podcast today. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to check out our Otter Hockey History podcast. Part 2 is going up today, so be sure and take a look at that on YouTube. And, of course, Part 1 has been up for a while. Part 2 going up. We're working on Part 3 of Otter Hockey History, so be sure and check that out. And thanks for joining us.
You've been listening to The Sports Moment with Craig Olson. Sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts. Produced by Sunroom Lab. Music by Blue Red Roses. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and thanks for listening.